Our story takes place during Planet Vegeta, as Goku was an infant in the pod chamber, as they were doing a power level check to see what the power at birth is. As remember, it depends on what the power level is to see what rank they're going to be and what planets most of them are shipped to. But for Goku, this is where everything changes. Instead of a power level of 2, his battle power was not readable, and his hair kept flickering to red and then to black as they think of him as a freak. As the events would still happen, he would still be sent to Earth, while Bardock would sacrifice himself for Goku, and to survive, he would soon be found by Grandpa Gohan, who he would be taken care of, and yes, he would still hit his head, falling off the cliff. As then time would pass, he would soon run into Bulma, and just to end the Dragon Ball saga short, yes, most of the events would all happen the same, just the fact that Goku's base is actually a lot more, and on top of that, with the help of Kami, I do feel like when he grows into adulthood, he would learn Super Saiyan God. So, we're gonna cut to the Saiyan saga. Yes, Goku and Chi-Chi are still together, and yes, Gohan was born, and yes, Piccolo is alive. All the events all most likely ended the same, just the fights were not as severe for Goku. And so, the same would happen with Goku taking Gohan to Master Roshi's house, and it is where Raditz would appear, and so power levels to be simple, Goku only has God Ki boosting his power. So remember, when you have God Ki, your power level is higher than normal, and on top of that, his Ki is not even sensible by a scouter, so Raditz actually wouldn't really even know where Goku is. But I would assume that to make the story making sense, he would follow Piccolo, as Piccolo would go into Kami's house. That would most likely be the only way. But I'm going to put that Goku is able to use a Super Saiyan God ability, so his base power level, and this is nerfing him, would be around 20,000. And adding Super Saiyan God on top of that, he's basically just very OP. He is most easily stronger than Frieza, or at least near it, if he uses Super Saiyan God. But he still has some difficulty to control the form, but he can still use it. Now, the fight with Raditz would go down a lot differently. He would very easily lose, resulting in Goku killing Raditz, because Goku has no other option because Raditz does not want to give up. So, yes, Vegeta and Nappa would still learn about the Dragon Ball, because they'll be talking about it. And yes, now this is only 2 ways that this can go. Goku does not train with King Kai, or he does. I'm going to go with he does, and Kami would help him. So remember, Kami was able to arrive to Otherworld. He would tell Goku of a high martial arts master to help him on his training, named King Kai. So Goku would fly across Snake Way, and the same events would happen. Goku would still be heavy under the gravity, since remember, Goku's not used to 10 times gravity. Remember, and the thing to back it up with is the fact that Gohan, during the Cell Saga, when he went in the Hyperball Time Chamber with Goku, he fell to the ground, and Gohan at that point was most likely strong enough to face on Frieza in base form, and he was not really able to even handle the gravity, and he had to get used to it. So it's very much the same. So King Kai would be meeting him, and he would be honestly shocked how a mortal has all of his God Ki, and he would still have to, and obviously Goku would still have to tell a silly joke, and he would have to chase Bubbles around and Gregory. So all of that still happens the exact same. It's just that he also would adapt to the gravity a lot faster because he is just a lot stronger than he was in the Saiyan Saga and the original. So it's not as difficult for him to learn. So this is where some things are going to change. Piccolo, yes, will still be training Gohan. Piccolo was actually a little bit stronger than before. Not as strong as Raditz was, so he could not defeat him. But due to Goku being far stronger, it makes him train harder to catch up over the past 5 years. I would say that Piccolo, as soon as the Saiyan Saga is over with and he's dealing with Raditz, his power level would have been around 850. Not enough to beat Raditz though at all, but still a lot stronger than his power level of 300. So it's pretty good. But now, this is where some things would really change, is the fact that he would have also Kaioken after finishing the training with King Kai, and he would also have the Spirit Bomb. But he would honestly save the Kaioken because he has his God form and is much better. And he also has a trump card for it in case his God form fails out, or for some reason anything happens and he can't use his God form. So the Kaioken's like a backup to a backup. And yes, he did also learn the Spirit Bomb from King Kai, And due to Goku being stronger, he did learn Kaioken faster, meaning that he has more time to train both techniques. So he did learn to do the Spirit Bomb, and he has better control over it and power, and the Kaioken does not damage him as bad. As before, he could go up to Kaioken times 3 without a massive strain. As time would come, Vegeta and Nappa would land on Earth for their big fight. But right before they would land, we're also going to cut to Piccolo and Gohan, as a lot of you guys are wondering, if Goku was born with God Ki, would that be passed down to Gohan? Yes and no. Because you also need to look at the fact that Bulla was born, or Bra, to be simple, was born because Vegeta had Super Saiyan Blue at that time, and Bra does not have God Ki, so I'm going to go off a limb and say that Gohan does not have God Ki. But I do think that his potential could be higher, and that's what I'm probably going to run with. So Gohan would actually be surpassing Piccolo in power because he has a higher potential, and Piccolo is also a little bit stronger, which would then push Gohan to be stronger. So most of the Z Fighters would actually be a little bit stronger because they would all have to try and keep up with Goku. Not enough to make a huge difference that they can like solo Nappa and Vegeta, but enough to where some events are going to be a lot more different and it will not be as bad. So let's get right into the fun part of when Nappa and Vegeta arrive on Earth. Now, what I do believe what would happen is the same events would happen with the Z Fighters arriving. Now, as many of you guys are wondering, how powerful is Tien, Yamcha, Chaozu, Gohan, and Piccolo at this point? I'm going to just say the guy's simple. Piccolo, I do believe that his power level was around 2,000 to 3,000 in the Saiyan Saga. This is just my what if power levels, so don't be going after me. I did not look at the Daizenshu or none of that. But I'm going to say, because Nappa's power level, I'm going to put is around 5 to 6 to 7,000 or so. The 5 to 7,000 mark. And Vegeta's obviously 18,000 is his full power, but 16,000 is his more like suppressed state. I'm going to say that they're all a little bit stronger than before, and they would have another 1,000 added their power level, so Piccolo would maybe be around 4,000 plus 5,000, and he would actually be able to damage Nappa and actually give him a way more better fight than he did before. And Gohan, yes, actually has a power level of, I would say, of around 6,000. He's a lot more powerful than he was before, but at the same time, he does not have the fighting spirit that Piccolo and the other guys have because he's just a kid. He's only about 6-7 years old, so he does not have the same type of hard like reality hitting thing about fighting, and he does get scared easily still. So that event will still happen. But now this is where some stuff will be changing. This Yamcha would not die to the Cybermen blowing up. He would be injured very badly, but he would actually survive the Cybermen blowing himself up. And Tien, Chaozu, and the other people would not actually die, nor would Piccolo die. I do feel like Nappa would still throw his major attack, but with Piccolo being closer in power to him, I do believe that Piccolo would be able to take the attack, but he would still be critically injured, but he would still survive, I believe so. And Krillin would, oh, by the way, don't forget my man Krillin, the god. He would actually be around the same power level as Tien or so. So his Tienzan would actually cut Nappa the same thing. He would be angry and kill the Cybermen. All that happens the same. Now, this is when the fun part will start. Goku would then arrive to take on Nappa and Vegeta. Now, at this point, Goku's power level is, we don't, I'm just going to go off a limb and just say his power level is easily, because if you look at the Daizenshu, it went from like 329 or so to around 8,000. It was around a 33 times difference. So I'm going to lowball it and just say that his power level is around 100,000 solid. And he would arrive and he would easily one-shot Nappa because he saw that Nappa was almost killed all of his friends. The fight with Nappa would be way worse. He would still obviously offer him and Vegeta to go and never come back. They obviously wouldn't listen. Goku would pimp slap Nappa into the mountain and just kill him or cripple him, and Vegeta would still kill him. The fight between Goku and Vegeta would go down. Goku doesn't even need to use his God form or even use Kaioken. His base is easily stronger than Vegeta, and but he does respect Vegeta's tenacity as a Saiyan warrior from one Saiyan to another, and he wants to see Vegeta's full power. So the end would happen with Vegeta shooting a Gallic gun, and Goku would, not this time shooting Kamehameha, he would slap the beam away as if it was nothing. As Vegeta doesn't really have any other option, he would throw the fake moon ball attack. That's just a hard word to say, or just the fake moon or Blood's Weight ball, whatever you want to call it, and he would turn into the Great Ape. Now his power level was stated to be around 160 to 180,000. This would actually prove a problem for Goku in base, but Goku would then show Vegeta his Super Saiyan God form, and just one-shot Vegeta and rip his tail off. And Vegeta would be critically injured on the ground after the beating that Goku gave him, even in his Uzaru state. Goku would let him crawl away into the space pod and leave. And Vegeta would say, "This is not the last time that we will meet," and he'll escape and fly away. As Goku would then rush everybody over to Korn and get sensu beans to help everybody up and recover. But remember, Korn also does not have as many sensu beans, so mostly everybody's just going to be trying to recover first. But now, would they still go for the Dragon Balls for Namek? Yes, they would. And the reason why is because of plot, and because, I want to see Goku fight Frieza. So I do feel like they would be able to go to Namek and wait for all the Z fighters to get healed up. I do feel like the main people who would be going to Namek would be Goku, Gohan, Krillin, Bulma, and Piccolo. I do feel like the other Z fighters would stay in case anything happens on Earth, they can protect it. Our story last took off with Goku easily defeating Nappa, and then he became to fight Vegeta, and Vegeta stood no chance against base Goku, who at this point, his base form automatically has God Ki, which makes him so dangerous. So Vegeta would have to use his Great Ape form, and obviously Goku shows his Super Saiyan God, and Vegeta has zero chance. Goku lets them go, and now they're going to go to Namek. But the only issue is that Goku's not injured, but at the same time, I'm going to put in this what if, don't ridicule me in the comments, leave me alone, is Goku cannot go with Bulma, Gohan, and Krillin yet, because there's not enough room on the spaceship to do so. And also considering Goku's appetite, you kind of get the message. And on top of that, Goku wants the training ship that Dr. Briefs is going to be showing Goku and building currently, and it's almost finished. It'll be about a week before it's officially done. That means that Goku can use gravity training. So Goku knows that Gohan and Krillin will be alright, especially with Bulma being so smart. They'll be okay going to Namek, and Goku will catch up and he'll help his friends out. So Goku's not injured this time. So they would fly over to Namek, and all the events would happen the exact same, meaning Elder Guru, Vegeta would also be there as well, doing his Vegeta stuff, fighting Zarbon, fighting Doria, Kui, all those guys all that's happening the exact same. Frieza is there to find the Namekian Dragon Balls, to wish for immortality. All that is the exact same as the original. But now we're going to cut to Goku, as that's the most interesting part. Goku would be training for the 1 week instead of being bedridden, of course being tended by Chi-Chi, who's yelling at him, and the per usual. And so Dr. Briefs was finally finished with the spaceship. Goku would hop in it, and he would take the sensu beans, the same amount that Korn would give him. And Goku's actually a little bit stronger than he was previously before going in the training room, because Goku has been training for a week solidly, because there ain't nothing else better to do to prepare. And I also believe that Goku is also, remember, because he's also used to the gravity as well because of King Kai. And on top of that, that just because the ship can't take off yet because he's getting the fuel supplies for it, doesn't mean that Goku can still train in the ship for a week. So I'm going to put it as I do believe easily that Goku can still use the gravity room inside of the spaceship for a week, but I don't think that the ship is ready to take off yet, as Dr. Briefs is still getting the fuel filled up and the supplies going. So that's basically what Goku will be doing, and I'm sure that Bulma's mom and them, they'll definitely hook him up with food and he'll stay there, or he'll go fly to go see Chi-Chi. And probably spend some time with her before he goes. Goku would fly to Namek, and it would take him around a week plus to arrive there. And yes, Goku would be training very hard. Goku was training in 90 times gravity. almost 100 times gravity, if I'm correct. And he completely, like, his power exploded when he was in that thing. I'm going to say, because he is so much more powerful now, that he's easily training in 500 times gravity. Not in base form, but in his God form. He can easily do it in his God form, especially since he has God Ki. Goku's adaptability and his potential is higher because he has a higher wall that he can reach with his Ki, is what I believe in Dragon Ball logic. Fight me for it in the comments, it's fine. But honestly, adaptation to fighting doesn't matter anymore because we all saw Broly. But Broly's a freaking nature, which that's okay. So Goku would train for over a week and he would arrive on Namek. During that time, Gohan, Krillin, and Vegeta are getting absolutely annihilated by the Ginyu Force. All of that happens the exact same. This time, Goku would actually arrive faster, just in time. He would save Gohan's life, which his neck was almost broken by Raccoon's, I believe it was called the Raccoon Ultra Kick, or the Raccoon Kick, almost killed him. And he would give everybody a sensu bean, even Vegeta. Here's another thing as well. There's little to no sensu beans that Goku used. He might have used one. And the reason for this is because of his God Ki. Super Saiyan God has healing properties, which is what we saw in the TV show. Is that when Goku got mortally wounded and stabbed through the chest by Beerus, right with his hand, he landed in the water and the God aura healed him. I do believe that Super Saiyan God, which it does have healing abilities. But does that mean that, and it also replenishes his strength just enough so he can come back and fight? So I also do feel like Goku would not use the sensu beans as much as he did because he's stronger, he's more durable, and also on top of that, he has the God form, Super Saiyan God, which can help heal abilities. Because Goku's been having this form his entire life. He has better control of that form than he pretty much does since he ever had it. Maybe not up until Whis will train him, then he'll really be able to use the ability. But anyway, cut the story short, Goku would arrive to Namek, and you all would understand what's going to happen. Goku's power level, and I'm lowballing Goku here, after training in 500 times gravity with his God form on and off, he would probably want to be smart and train his base form because he doesn't want to use his God form constantly over and over and over, as it does require a lot of concentration to focus that God Ki, because even though Goku's born with it and he does have it, that is still something that you have to learn, and he doesn't have Whis' specialized training of being able to not have your Ki be leaking out. So Goku would still know how to do it, but he would be struggling to do it, if y'all get what I'm saying. So I'm just going to cut this short. Ginyu Force is done. Ginyu would not have the chance to do the change now because Goku's in serious mode, and they almost killed his son, they almost killed Krillin, and I mean, Goku doesn't really care about Vegeta, but he does respect him as a proud warrior, so he would easily one-tap each of the guys, pretty much the same dominance as he did before, as his power level would easily be lowballing well over 1 million. I would say around 1 million to 1.5 million. He's around the same strength as Piccolo was when he fused with Nail. Now, they would gather up the Dragon Balls, and they would actually make the wish, and they would revive Piccolo, and they would also bring back all the Namekians that were killed by Frieza, or anybody that was killed by Frieza. Which Shenron will probably like, that wish is beyond my power. But either way, the Namekians were all brought back, and no, Vegeta's not dead, and Piccolo would not be needed to be brought to Namek, since they don't need Piccolo, they got Goku. I mean, I love Piccolo, but nope, sorry Piccolo, I mean, that's gonna be wasteful of a wish. And then there was the final wish, and they were not going to use it yet, but sadly, Elder Guru passed away, and the Dragon Balls turned to stone. Because, yes, they brought back everybody that Frieza killed, but Elder Guru was still alive. So Elder Guru technically died of his old age, as he knew that his time was coming, sadly. So the Dragon Balls are gone, and they lost their third wish. Not like it really mattered, sadly for Elder Guru. But now, Frieza would then appear in his first form, very much similar, and he was not happy. Now, I do feel like Vegeta, with a lot of anger and malice, he would want to fight Frieza first. I do feel like Goku would let him because Vegeta says, I need to do this. And yes, the same fight will go down between him and first form Frieza. Remember, Vegeta's power level is actually a lot more higher than it was because he got beat up by a Super Saiyan God. And on top of that, Raccoon and them, I do feel like he would have had a closer battle with Raccoon and Jason Birder. That would have been a really cool fight. He could probably take on all three of them, but he was already tired as it was. But they're all teaming up on him. He couldn't do it 3-on-1. He couldn't do it. So Vegeta's actually stronger than first form Frieza, almost as powerful as second form Frieza. So first form Frieza's getting whooped around. He would turn into a second form, and then that's when he would scare Vegeta half to death. And then that's when Goku would come in, and they would begin their battle. Obviously, Frieza has no chance against Goku. He would say, I have 2 more transformations, let me show you. He would show his third form, and the fight would actually be on Frieza's side a little bit, but Goku would also use Kaioken, and he would use Kaioken times 2 and Kaioken times 3. Because remember, Kaioken doesn't really strain him all that crazy much, because he's way more durable than he was, so he's not using like times 10 or times 20 like he was, so Kaioken times 2 and times 3 is not really killing him like it was in the Saiyan saga. Frieza would then be forced to go into his final form, and Goku could not really sense the energy of Frieza, as remember, Frieza suppresses his power level, but he knows that Frieza's stronger, you don't judge a book by his cover. But I do feel like Goku would let his guard down, and Frieza would get a death beam shot, hitting Goku right through the chest, mortally wounding him. Now, during this time, Vegeta would also be shot by Krillin, and they would also, even though Piccolo is not speaking like Nail to Dende to try and make him heal Vegeta, I do feel like Goku would beg him, and Nail knows that Goku's like a savior. I do feel like with him, Gohan, and Krillin begging him, he would heal Vegeta, and then Vegeta would have his kind of fight with Frieza. But then, they would also give Goku a Senzu Bean. Remember, they still have 1 to 2 Senzu Beans left. I would say they probably have 1 more Senzu Bean left in the bag. So Gohan keeps it just in case something happens, and they need it just in case. Like a backup to a backup. Because remember, Dende also uses a lot of energy healing people, not something he can just spam over and over. So that's going to really happen. Vegeta would lose, and yes, Vegeta would get beaten and he would get shot through the chest. But this time, Gohan would actually save Vegeta's life, and Vegeta would not die. The reason why is because he gave him the Senzu Bean, and Vegeta knows of its healing properties, and he would eat it right before he died. But he would still, but right before that, he would still be crying, telling Goku about the Saiyans. Now, Goku actually got a near-death Zenkai, being shot right through the chest by Frieza, and he would get up, and he was not happy. He knows to not drop his guard around Frieza, because Frieza's a snake. As per se, Frieza's one of the most evil villains other than Kid Buu. But anyway, Goku's power level from a near-death Zenkai, his power level originally was around 1.5. I'm going to put his power level of around 6 million, which is not a massive, oh my god, boost, but it's pretty good for almost dying. So the fight would go down, and Goku saving his god form for when he truly needs it. Remember, he has to concentrate so much on that form. It's not something that he can just flicker on and then flicker off every single time. He has to use it when he doesn't have a choice, and he also wants to test his abilities against Frieza. He wants to see how powerful Frieza is. He would try Kaioken times 10, and he would actually do pretty good. He's as strong as he was if he used Kaioken times 20 in the original, and then he used Kaioken times 20, which, as everybody may know, that would boost his power level to around 120 million, which is as powerful as full power Frieza, and Goku would shoot a full power Kamehameha, and it actually would not kill Frieza, but it would blow his arm off. Instead of Frieza's hand being really hurt, it would blow his arm and his shoulder off. So Frieza's pretty wounded, and I do feel like Frieza would not have a choice, and he would try and blow up the planet with the remainder energy that he has left. So he would actually tell Goku, let me go full power. And he would go full power. Remember, he's not as strong as he only has 1 arm. So I do feel like his power level instead of 120 million would probably be around 100 million. So he's not as strong as he would be. And Goku would then say, alright Frieza, if you're going to show your full power, allow me to show you the light and the darkness. And he would turn Super Saiyan God. His power level in Super Saiyan God is not even a power level at this point. Past the Frieza saga, it's irrelevant. It's power scaling. His power level easily rivals that of Majin Buu, or way higher. Especially since he has God Ki. Goku's no joke. So Frieza would then fire his final attack, the Death Ball. And he would actually surprise Goku by throwing it towards Namek, But Goku is so much faster this time that he would move in time and smack the ball away like it was nothing. He would fly in, and then he would shoot a full power Kamehameha wave, hit Frieza, and Frieza laid on the ground. His body was as destroyed as it was when like Namek blew up and he was in space. He's still alive because Goku held back on purpose to give Frieza one last chance to leave the planet and never come back. And Frieza would be begging for mercy, very similar to the show. And I do feel like Goku would give him the energy, but Vegeta would stop him. And Vegeta would scold him almost, saying like, "You're a damn fool for giving Frieza, the most evil man in the universe, your energy and sparing him. That's so unsane like you." And Vegeta would probably kill him. He would want to have the pleasure. He would probably shoot a full power Gallic gun and kill Frieza, because Frieza's so weak at this point. So the universe was saved, and Goku did it, and they would all then return to Namek. Now, some changes do happen here. Elder Guru sadly is not there anymore, so the Namekian Dragon Balls are not officially there, unless they just make a new Guardian, which Dende would be brought back to Earth to be the new Guardian of Earth. That's a joke. He's not being brought back to Earth yet. That's during the Cell Saga. But no, Dende would stay on planet Namek for a while and hang out. I think his name was Elder Moray, I believe his name was. He's the new Guardian of the Dragon Balls, as he does have the magic abilities that Guru's been training him with, so he can actually use the powers. So all that's brought back. The Namekian Dragon Balls are brought back. So they would all be brought back to planet Earth, and this is where a lot of the story's going to change. Goku does not have instant transmission. He does not have any of that. And Goku does not have Super Saiyan. He doesn't even know that even exists. Vegeta thinks that Goku does have Super Saiyan. So maybe this red form that Goku has in unimaginary power is Super Saiyan. We don't know. Our story last ended with Goku defeating the Emperor of the Universe, Frieza, as he returned to Earth. Now in this what if, he never learned instant transmission or Super Saiyan. But I do believe that Vegeta would think that this red form with this unbelievable power is Super Saiyan. But in reality, it's Super Saiyan God. So 1 year would pass, and Goku would sense an odd power suddenly appear. But the key was different. As a man stood before him in a very similar G to Goku, he would reveal himself to be Gohan from the future, and he would explain about the androids from Dr. Gero from the Red Ribbon Army created, and he died from a strange heart virus. So he would also explain about the androids had the powers of him, and about that red power that he has, and that these androids were so powerful that no Z fighter could defeat him, and even Gohan now has the same form as his father, and it had zero chance on him. So Goku would be in shock hearing all this, as Gohan would soon then also give him the heart medicine, and then the two would end up having a one-on-one. As Goku would turn into his god form, Gohan would smile, saying Goku now wasn't the only one with that odd power, as he too would transform and show off Super Saiyan God, shocking Goku, as the two would clash, being in power pretty much even, as Gohan would not have a choice but to tell the rest, since most of them arrived sensing the power and the fighting going on and the pressure, and also Piccolo's there as well, and he can hear from a very, very, very long distance, so Gohan would not really have a choice, and Piccolo would probably just tell the gang all that would happen. So, in the original, Trunks was supposed to come in from the past, but this time it's Gohan. So you guys are wondering, well, what happened? Well, in this What If version, Gohan is actually alive. He did not die. And yes, he still did lose his arm, and he actually has a robotic one that Bulma made from Capsule Corp to help him combat that back. And Trunks is still alive, and he is still with Gohan, so Trunks doesn't even have Super Saiyan yet, because he did not witness Gohan dying to activate that power. So that's pretty much the end of what happened, and yes, the androids do have Goku's God ability. They don't necessarily have God Ki, but they have his level of power, since Goku was born with it, and he was so much more powerful than before, and Cell is the one that actually has the God Ki, because he's different from the androids, who have infinite Ki anyways. So Cell's going to be very terrifying when you all see that. So after hearing all this news and giving the heart medicine, and Gohan would have to go back in time, and he would return once there is enough fuel to come back to help him fight the androids. Goku would train with Piccolo and current Gohan, Kid Gohan, for 3 years. The same thing as Goku would focus on Gohan actually a little bit more than before, since he has the same power as Goku inside of him, and Goku never knew that. And Goku wonders it might be his hidden power locked away, only out by anger or by being pushed. As 3 years would pass, Dr. Gero and Android 19 would appear, and the same exact events would happen, all up until Goku would turn Super Saiyan God. But he was starting to get sick. And the same events would happen, but along with him getting sicker and Android 19 sapping his power away. Because, yes, a lot of you guys are wondering too, how does the healing thing work? Since Goku was able to heal back from a deadly wound from Beerus and come back from that. But I'll explain all that in just one moment. So, Vegeta would come in and kick the android away. But it does little to help, as these androids are a lot more powerful than the original. Goku's Super Saiyan God power would be healing him just enough to where he would use all of his strength firing a Super Kamehameha, killing Android 19. So Vegeta would still showcase his Super Saiyan, but in the end it wouldn't really defeat the androids because they're so much more powerful. It would definitely hurt his pride a lot more. And Goku's healing ability was not enough to cure the heart disease that he has, but it was enough to hold it off, just enough so he can kill Android 19 with all the power that he has left in his body. So Goku will be taken away by Yamcha to go be hidden at Master Roshi's house and given the heart medicine. He's being cared for by Chi-Chi. All that happens the exact same. But Dr. Gero is still damaged badly, and he would still escape. Now Goku would remember, Goku would be taken away, and all the Z fighters and the rest of them are all still there. They would all follow Dr. Gero, and he would still unlock Android 17 and 18. And you know what happens, these androids karate kick his freaking head off, and it's over with. They also bring out Android 16. Now, I'm just going to do a power scale, and I'm just going to say that these androids are strong, if not a little bit stronger, than Super Saiyan 2 Gohan was when he fought Cell. So they are beyond stronger than the original androids, and they're beyond terrifying as well. And Android 16 is even stronger than them. So just get that through your guys' head as well. So would they kill the Z fighters? No, I don't think they would. They would want to keep them around because, I mean, they don't want to get bored that easily. They see how weak the Z fighters are compared to them, but that doesn't mean that they want to, kill them and waste all the fun. Remember, these current androids are actually a lot less evil and a lot less more killer instinct than the future androids for some reason. And Trunks said it was due to the odd time thing that was happening. So I don't think that they would, but I do know that the original ones, the ones from the future, would have most likely probably killed them all. So Vegeta would have his arm broken, all that would happen the exact same. Goku would actually recover from the heart virus faster than before. Now, Goku knows he needs to train to beat them, but he cannot do them alone, as he would actually go to King Kai to learn about God Ki and how to help it and how to figure things out. Because King Kai is a divine being himself, and he's not obviously Whis level to where he knows God Ki, but I do believe that King Kai, and especially with the other Grand Kai, they would also help him out, maybe give him some tips and help him out with divine energy, which Goku does have. And also have a secret trump card he has learned in the other world. Now, Goku has 2 trump cards that he actually learned. One that he learned from King Kai, and another one we're keeping secret, and he learned from the other world, being dead and training with King Kai the first time, and also training with him currently. He wanted to be sure he can get it right. But that one's only for major emergencies, and he would have to find somebody strong enough. So, with the help of King Kai, he would also, over time, is when he would train, he would then arrive telling them they need to train as much as possible. As Goku would then go in with Gohan, and future Gohan as well, would go with Vegeta instead of Trunks this time, and Piccolo would go alone. As 1 year would pass, they would go, remember they were going into the hyperbolic time chamber, just so everybody know. So 1 year would pass, aka 1 day for each of them. Goku would help Gohan be able to turn into a Super Saiyan God. And for future Gohan, he would be helping Vegeta and training hard with him. Vegeta would end up mastering Super Saiyan, being beyond much stronger than he ever was before. Remember, he's getting beat up by a Super Saiyan God every single day for a year, and the Zenkais that he's getting from it. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, because he would tell Gohan to not hold back. Now, would they also take in Senzu beams? Now, I do believe that they would, and I'm just adding it in for the what if, because if so, Vegeta would just be crippled by the time that Gohan's done with him, beating him up over the whole year. So I'm just going to say that they brought in sensu beans and healing items that can help him out. And also, too, Goku has also learned with his Super Saiyan God, from with also the help of Gohan, how to actually heal wounds. But now, he's using the Super Saiyan God ability, and we have seen him do it before, to where it healed a wound when he got stabbed in the chest by Beerus, and it was able to heal him. But now, this does require a lot of concentration and energy, but if Goku got mortally wounded, he can heal himself and also heal wounds from a major attack, which is a really cool little thing that I wanted to add for the Super Saiyan God and make it very interesting. So they would all come out of the Hyperbolic Time Chamber, and yes, the big fight will be coming, as then Cell would appear. Now, Cell would appear in his super perfect form, as he would still find the androids over time as they were destroying cities. Cell would actually come out faster, because Cell's a lot more powerful, he would grow faster, and he wouldn't really be needing to absorb humans. So Cell would find the androids and absorb them, and he would actually have already killed Android 16, because he would have tried to stop him, and Android 16 has no chance against Cell, because Cell actually has more powerful God Ki. So that's the scary thing about Cell. So Cell would absorb the two androids, and he'll become perfect Cell. So he would then arrive at the lookout, and he would be looking to fight and throw some hands. But Goku would tell him, saying, give us a couple more days, and we'll give you a true challenge. And Cell would be down with it, and Cell would say, then I'm going to create the Cell games, and it'll be done within the next few days. And then Cell would disappear to go make the arena and stuff, and that is when the Z Fighters would then take some time off. Goku would relax for a little bit, spend his couple of days with Gohan and Chi-Chi and his family, and Vegeta would probably do the same thing and continue training, because he probably wouldn't stop. But then, the final fight would then happen soon, and they would all go to the Cell games to face Cell. The Z Fighters all arrive in the arena where the Cell games will take place. Like the original, Goku will step to fight Cell, as he would fight in base form first, and he would slowly start building up the fight. Now, like the original, Goku is just having a hard time, as he's not in Super Saiyan form. But he would then turn Super Saiyan God, and it would even the playing field. Cell would use his full power, and they would clash blows back and forth, as Goku would then quit. Now, just like the original, everybody was shocked as why Goku would just quit all of a sudden. When him and Cell were pretty much on equal terms, Cell was very satisfied and very impressed by Goku's power. Now, Goku would send his own son Gohan, as Gohan would turn Super Saiyan God, as he has surpassed his father power-wise, as it would impress Cell, as they would fight. But the issue here is that Gohan may have the strength over Cell, but he does not have the same fighting tenacity and spirit that his father and Vegeta has, because Gohan is half Saiyan. Now, Gohan would end up losing the fight, as he would quit himself, as Goku would have no choice. He would go in to go save his son, and along with future Gohan would then get present Gohan away, as Goku shows one of his trump cards he has been saving. As he would charge, his red aura around him would be flaring, as it would go away, as he would then smirk, and he yelled out the famous two words, Kaioken, as a pure red aura would go around his god aura, as this would shock Cell, as he's never seen anything like this before. As Goku would explain, he learned this power from King Kai, as it amps his power, sight, and even hearing, all zoom, and it's hard to control, but he uses this as a last resort. As honestly, Goku would thank Cell, as Goku states every villain he ever has fought, he's always held back and felt bored, in a way, and not a true challenge has ever hit him, but now he has him where he can really cut loose, and he thanks Cell for that. Now he can use his true power, as Goku would yell, charging up the Kaioken multipliers, as Cell would be in shock seeing his power skyrocket. He would then scream Kaioken times 10, as he would charge in, punching Cell full force in the air, as he would then release a flurry of punches. As Cell was way too delirious to focus on what's happening, Goku would then fire a full power Kamehameha, hitting Cell full force before he could react. As Goku would land breathing hard, as still, using that Kaioken form is very draining. Even if Goku could still use it and he's had Kaioken for a long time, it still damages his body and drains his stamina very quickly. Now, in the sky, the mist cleared and Cell was floating in the air, and he was missing most of his limbs. Only his head remained. As he would reform and smirk, saying he was not surprised at Goku's power, but it would be time that he shows his. And he would transform into his god state, as it would shock everyone at his power. his power would be shaking throughout the universe, as even far away on the outer edges of the universe, a certain cat-looking creature in his sleep would sneeze a little bit, sensing the power. Goku would scowl as he would rush in, punching Cell, as Cell would block it all with his palm, as he would then dominate Goku like a fly, as Goku would even do a last resort and burst into Kaioken times 20 on top of his god form, as he would actually land a clear blow. Cell would only smirk, saying that stung a tiny bit, and he didn't block at all. As he would blast Goku away, the others would try and hold off Cell, as Goku has two options here. He could use the Spirit Bomb, but he wouldn't have time to use it, and Cell could potentially copy the attack. And he didn't think it was powerful enough, as Cell was beyond anything he's ever seen. Now, he was thinking of who was his future Gohan, only had one arm, and his son was out cold, and no senzu beans, and he was badly damaged from Cell. As he would then look to Vegeta, he has an idea, as Tien, Krillin, and the others would then also use solar flares and tri-beams and their Kienzons to hold down Cell and keep him occupied. Goku would pull Vegeta away and explain to do the fusion dance, as Vegeta would never dare to do this, as Goku had to put Bulma and Trunks into the mix for him to be able to do it. They would do the dance, and they would fail at first, and Cell would see this as he would be interested. He would wait the hour, playing with the other weaklings for a little while, as Goku and Vegeta would fuse into Gogeta, who would then smirk at Cell, saying, "I am neither Goku nor Vegeta. I'm the guy who's gonna stop you." As he would burst into Super Saiyan and clash Cell, happy he can show his power. As Gogeta would then yell, he would turn into a Super Saiyan God. Now, a lot of you guys are maybe wondering, how would this be possible? How did Goku know the fusion dance, and how can they even turn Super Saiyan or Super Saiyan God? Well, very simple. The reason why is because in the first part of the What If, when Goku went to King Kai, he learned from the other Kais, and in the other world, so Goku actually did learn the fusion dance, as he wanted to learn his God Ki way more, and he actually learned with other divine beings. So I'm just going to add in that maybe Goku met the Mandalorian people who were able to do the fusion technique. And Goku would obviously remember it and save it as a last resort. Now, for them to be able to turn Super Saiyan, Vegeta can turn into a Super Saiyan. So I do believe that it is possible that with Goku on the other side as well, they turn Kurt Super Saiyan. Now, a lot of you guys have been wondering too, how is he be able to go Super Saiyan God? And it's because of Goku. Now, a lot of you guys may be asking too, would they turn into a Super Saiyan Blue? We will get to that very shortly, but let's get back into the video. Now, Cell in anger would then use his full power, as he would fly in for a full power attack. Gogeta would just stand there, blocking it with a finger, as he would look at it smirking, saying, "I don't need 30 minutes, I only need one finger to beat you." As he would then open up his hand, throwing ki spheres from his fingertips, hitting Cell away. As this Gogeta does know that he does have a time limit, and he does not need to waste time, but that doesn't mean he wants to have a little bit of fun, as, you know, Cell's the only guy that's able to take the attack. So Cell would bulk up and he would use his utmost full power of his God form, 100%. And Gogeta has an idea. He says, what would happen if he mixes Super Saiyan God with his Super Saiyan ability, and just to see what would happen. So it is Goku and Vegeta, and they are mixed together. So they would charge up and they would turn Super Saiyan Blue. This is Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta. His power would radiate throughout the universe, making another cat-level being sneeze again, but this time a bit harder than before. And it would make even Whis watch it from his staff. Now, Cell would be in absolute shock seeing this power radiating from this being, as Cell would kind of kick himself, saying that he should not have let them fuse and use this kind of technique, as Cell never knew this technique was even possible. So now, Gogeta would fly in, and he would dominate Cell, very similar to how he did Janemba and also Dragon Ball Super Broly. Cell here has zero chance, so Cell is going to try the self-destruction attack, as he does not have much of a choice. But before he could even think about doing it, Gogeta would fly in and gut punch him so hard, way harder than even Super Saiyan 2 Gohan did, and he would regurgitate Android 18 and he would revert back to his semi-perfect form. And he would also lose his God ability. So, with Cell with nothing else left to do, he would try to self-destruct, but before he could swell up too much, Gogeta is way faster than Cell at this point. He would already be in front of him and fire a Kamehameha, obliterating Cell before he could even completely self-destruct himself. And that would be the complete end of Cell. Now, then the two would defuse, and they would have a kind of a rival respect moment, that's very similar. Now, a lot of you guys may be wondering too, as all the pieces now brought back, Gohan would then return to the future where Bulma and Trunks is, and now remember, this Gohan is way stronger than he was before. Just like how Trunks did in the original, Gohan would easily dispatch the androids and easily dispatch a semi-perfect Cell. And that is the end of the Cell arc. But if you guys remember, there is a cat-like being who is kind of awakening a little bit. 7 years after the Cell arc, Gohan has now grown up, and most of the events would happen the exact same, all up until the Supreme Kai needs their help. And the reason for this is because not much really changed, anything else like that. Gohan would still go to school, and he would still meet Videl, and everything else would happen the exact same. So after Supreme Kai would ask for help, they would then arrive at Babidi's ship. Now, they would easily slip by because Buu won't be able to be spawned since there's no Majin Vegeta currently. And Dabura would be one shot anyways. And Babidi would then be killed. So there isn't any Majin Buu. So yes, the Majin Buu arc was just quickly blown over. It wouldn't have a chance. Vegeta's not as evil-hearted. So even if Babidi, let's say, tried, I don't think that Vegeta would allow himself to be taken over anyway, because he doesn't have any personal issues against Goku to begin with. So there's no really, not really a point, since he can fight Goku whenever he wants. So there's no thing to worry about that. So sadly, the Majin Buu arc is over. So there's no Buu. That means there's no Oob, or Hercule would not be as massively popular as he was, sadly. But Gohan and them would still meet, and he would still meet Videl, and they would still fall in love. All that happens the exact same. We will cut to a few years later, and Beerus at his home planet awakens and tells Whis of a dream of fighting a Super Saiyan God, which Whis would show that a mortal named Son Goku is on King Kai's planet, and he is able to use God Ki, same with his son, as it would be surprising to Beerus, as he's never heard of mortals being able to do that, especially by themselves. So he would very eagerly want to go see Goku right away. So he would arrive at the planet meeting Goku. Goku doesn't really know who this guy is, but Goku can tell that he's really strong. And I feel like Goku would want to fight him, and obviously Beerus would accept it, being pretty excited, as he wants to see what Goku's made of, having God Ki, as Beerus can sense it. So Goku would show him Super Saiyan, and Beerus was pretty interested, but he doesn't care about that. He wants to see his God power. So Goku would turn Super Saiyan God, but King Kai would stop the fight, saying not here and to do it at Earth. And the reason why is because he already lost his planet, and he just got it back, so there's no point in destroying it. I feel like Beerus would be mad about it, but Goku can say no, I can just instant transmission right to Earth, it's not that big of a deal, and Bulma's having a party anyway, so we can have a sparring match, and you can eat some delicious food. And I feel like the delicious food will get Beerus to say let's go, because Beerus says it'll be good. If it's bad, then I'll destroy the Earth. You know how it goes with Beerus. So Goku would instant transmission there with them, as Vegeta was in shock. As they were at Bulma's party on the ship, which Goku's stomach would rumble, he stated, let's enjoy the party before we do a big fight. Which Beerus would give the trying the amazing food, and he would have the funny reaction. Same with Whis, as Vegeta was terrified, as this is the dude, other than Frieza, who stepped on his dad when he bowed down to him. And as Beerus has the feeling, he demands now to fight. As after they've already eaten everything, Beerus is now filled, he's ready to fight. Now, Goku would go first, saying he's pretty excited, as he would go into his Super Saiyan God. Now, this version of Goku is beyond stronger than he was in the original, because remember, Goku he was born with God Ki, so it's pretty much already gone. He's already way stronger than he was before, so he's way more stronger. He has mastery of Super Saiyan God form, and God Ki anyway. So the fight would begin in the sky, and Goku would be putting up a much better fight than before, giving Beerus a fun time. But sadly, Beerus is way too strong either way. No matter how much stronger Goku is, Beerus is still leagues above him. Vegeta would not butt in just yet, as he knows Kakarot is more gas in the tank, and to show as Goku would burst into Kao 10x10 on top of his God form, and he would kick Beerus away. Now it's just a burst, as Beerus would smirk, saying this isn't even his full power. And Goku would be surrounded in a blue light, and he would turn into Super Saiyan Blue and knock Beerus away. Vegeta would scowl, and he would come in punching Goku, saying that he wants to turn as well, very similar to what they did with Golden Frieza, which Beerus says both of you can come at me at the same time. So Goku states that if they do not fight, Beerus will blow up the planet Earth, and that this Beerus guy is way too strong for them to fight each other. So they would have to work together. So no, there's no fusion, don't worry. Vegeta said he's never going to fuse again. Well, for now. Both of them would be fighting Beerus at the same exact time, as Vegeta would smirk and he would yell, turning Super Saiyan Blue as well. And a lot of you guys are wondering how that's possible. A short explanation: because of the fusion, Vegeta was mixed with Goku, so I do feel like Vegeta does have access to God Ki now, and knowing Vegeta for the past 7 years training with Goku, I do feel like he would be able to learn to use God Ki and Super Saiyan Blue. Let's carry on with the what if. So, both of them would be fighting Beerus, and they would put up an extremely good fight. Now, sadly, both of them would run out of energy, as Beerus was just way too powerful, but he would be happy. He would commend them on this amazing power, as they would heal up, aka Whis, and with the help of Dende and other guys, they would satisfy Beerus, as he would, even though he would be happy that they're both so strong, I do feel like he would still be annoyed, because he was expecting, I guess, more, or maybe he wanted a bigger fight, because they ran out of gas so quickly. And the reason why they ran out of gas is, even though they do have Super Saiyan Blue, the form still drains their stamina. So that's the reason why they couldn't fight him for that long in Super Saiyan Blue together. So that's the reason why Beerus is a bit upset. But with some food, he'll be quiet about it. And so they would then enjoy Bulma's party. Now, Whis would actually want to train the two to give Beerus an even better fight, as Beerus also commanded it as well that he wants his teacher to teach them. So, the two would go to Beerus' planet and begin training, and the 2 years would pass. Now, Frieza would be revived, and he would train for 3 months, like before, and unlock his golden form, while for Goku and Vegeta, I would say Goku has learned to use Kaioken times 20 for his Super Saiyan Blue, and Vegeta has even unlocked Super Saiyan Blue Evolution. Frieza would arrive, and Goku and Vegeta would appear with Beerus and Whis, and it would not be them fighting. It would be Gohan, who was battle damaged, his top chi torn off, as he was in Super Saiyan Blue himself. Yes, this Gohan keeps training, as he trains as hard as Goku and Vegeta does, and he's able to keep it up, having the motivation of Goku there. This Gohan also has God Ki. He's the son of Goku, a being who was born with God Ki. Technically half God Ki, so he's half mortal, half God, technically, if you want to call it that. And I do feel like with this potential, training with his father and everybody else, he would be able to unlock God Ki, no problem. And he already technically did in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber, so not like it matters anyway. So in case for anybody who didn't watch the What If before, he unlocked God Ki during the Hyperbolic Time Chamber when they fought Cell. So I do feel like he can unlock Super Saiyan Blue, not much of an issue. So yes, Gohan did keep his training up, so he's not weak. So his potential will make up for it anyway, as he actually is stronger than Goku and Vegeta as of right now. Remember, once when Pan is born, he's going to slow down on training a little bit to focus on studying and taking care of Pan. But he's not going to slack off. So just Gohan has redeemed himself. This is not weak Gohan from Dragon Ball Super. So Gohan would actually kill Frieza, as he would not be able to give him a chance to exact his revenge. And for the Universe 6 arc, it would be easy for, it would be really easy actually, for Team Universe 7 and to really beat him. And as for Goku, Black, and Zamasu, it wouldn't be worth going into it, since most of the fighting would be the exact same, other than Vegeta having Super Saiyan Blue Evolution. That is it for this What If, you guys.